Greetings, huntsmen and huntresses, welcome back to RWBY-JPDE. Alright guys, now for this route we're taking a look at everyone's mysterious teacher, Professor Peach. Now guys, the reason why I say she's mysterious because in the actual show and the mangas, she actually has never appeared at all. Her name is brought up, but we'd never see her. I think the only time she's ever actually been given like features is in fan fictions and in this game. In fact, I'm pretty sure a lot of people consider this version of her the canon design, because this is obviously the most popular version of her design, and I do agree. So that said, let's begin. Okay guys, now to start the event, you have to wait till after you've met the boss in Peak. Basically, you know, when he's that giant flaming apparition? Yeah, that's when. So that said, let's do this. Let's head over to the classes. Weiss wanted my help with dust class stuff. Wonder why she needs help though, because, you know, she is the expert and we're a novice. Wonder what exactly this is all about. You'd think she wouldn't need my help with anything concerning dust, especially considering how taken she seems to be with Professor Peach. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I'm about to know anyway. Hey Weiss. Kenshi, I'm glad you could come. I promised, didn't I? Although, I'm still not sure why you wanted me to come. It's not exactly that I wanted or need you to, I just thought it would be a good idea. A good idea? In what sense? Well, in the sense of getting... Well, not in the sense of getting extra credit or anything, sadly, but I thought it would be a good opportunity for you to start networking. A professor's recommendation go a long way towards any future goals you may want to have towards specialization once you graduate. And since the third and fourth year find students to be more mobile, there's really only the first two to connect. Since you're joined halfway through the first year and taking into account your situation, I hope I'm not overstepping. Oh, I see. That's very nice of her, isn't it? That's actually really nice thought, Weiss. Thank you. Thank goodness. You're welcome. Although, that explains the why, doesn't it? Doesn't it tell me what exactly we're doing? Well, that depends on Professor Peach, really. It's not really the first time. I help her with lesson prep work, but the specifics change frequently. So the wisest course of action will be just to go in and ask her. Let's see how this goes. Good afternoon, Professor. Hello, Miss Schnee, and oh, Mr. Icabeus. Didn't think I'd have two helpers today instead of one. Hope there's enough tasks to go around, Professor. I've actually been tutoring Kenshi in dust to help him make up what he's missing. Oh my, you mean you help it recuperate the entity of the first semester's curriculum? And then some. Please do remember that I had no knowledge of dust whatsoever until I came to Beacon. Miss Schnee, I knew you had some academic skills, but I didn't realize you had an instinct for teaching. Call me impressed. Oh, it was nothing really. I just happened to have a lot of notes. Music to a teacher's ears. Anyway, there's more enough work for the two of you. What do you need us to do, Professor? Well, for starters, let's measure the doses for next week's class. Scales are in the cabinet. Thank you. I do love that little wink she does with the heart. It's cute. What the heck is that noise? That's the first one. That's the last one, Professor. Very good. Thank you so much, students. You've been a great help. That's a lot of material. Do you usually do all this stuff, all that on your own, Professor? I used to, but then Miss Schnee got all worried because I'm still doing so during the 6th month of pregnancy. So now I do it with her help. Well, to be fair, Miss Rose was also worried, but she had no idea how to act around me. It was adorable. And I still don't understand what possessed you to keep going for so long. I have it on good authority you could have asked for leave since month 5. We were in the middle of a very important piece of the curriculum, Miss Schnee. Breaking the flow of learning in half between two professors would have been detrimental, to say the least. Still, I think it was an unnecessary effort on your part, Professor. Well, not everyone is good learner as you and Mr. Icabeus, Miss Schnee. Keep that in mind. If being a teacher was as easy as accumulating knowledge and sprouting it out from behind a desk, everyone could do it. Considering the circumstances like timing and the different aptitudes of each student is a vital part of the job. So you'll learn if you ever decide to follow this path. That would be actually interesting. Like, obviously, that would be a good alternative for why instead of just being like a huntress or the lead of the Shinny Dust Company. I didn't mean to assume. I know, Miss Shinny. But don't forget that it's children who are supposed to rely on adults, not the opposite. I know, let's clean up here. Think I kept you long enough. She's the first person I've ever heard talk like this. Adults and children. Alright guys, go back. Ooh, actually, I never really thought of it. Never really thought of things in that way. Alright guys, go back to the next part of the event takes place. See you in a bit. Peace. And we're back guys, let's do this. So guys, this takes place the following day after class, so let's do this. Let's head over to here. Children and adults. Well, I guess I'm a child. Am I not? Well, yeah, you are. You're a teenager, but technically, if we're counting how long you've been around for right now, you are still technically a baby. But that's just a weird thing. I mean, no matter what the angle you look at it, but in actual age, physical age, life experience, I'm pretty much a kid. Or at the very least, not an adult. Thank you, ma'am. And yet, what Professor Peach sure didn't. And yet, what Professor Peach said didn't ring true for some reason. I mean, people get into combat academies like Beacon at the age of 17, right? A 4 years curriculum, that means you're graduating at 21 years old. And that, you're considered a fully fledged hunter. That's still young, and yet, that's when you're supposed to be able to go without supervision against Grimm. If they expect people that young and with so little actual experience to fight Grimm, how is that? Learn for your thoughts, Mr. Dykebius. Well, that surprised him. If it's shopping, then it must be one hell of a grocery list. But what we do have things known as scrolls to take notes nowadays. Failing that, pen and paper. Yeah, well, I always use my phone if I ever want to write down a shopping list. Although most of them I just memorize it. Oh no, it's not shopping, and I do have a scroll with a list, yes. I was thinking about... well, something you said, actually. Oh? Was it something you didn't understand from the last lesson, from the latest lesson? No, it was about what you said about children having to rely on adults. I see. What about it? Well, it doesn't really seem feasible considering how the hunting profession seems to work. You're not wrong. Now that I think about it, it must be quite jarring for you since you didn't really choose to attend Beacon. I didn't really have a choice, no. I just fell into it. Still trying to get adjusted to everything, and I guess it's slowly dawning on me that because of that, I'm now set on a particular path for my life, am I not? Pretty much. On one hand, you never have to worry about the financial security. On the other hand, most students only understand what being a hunter will ask of them when it's far too late. Was it the same for you? No, it was for someone else though. What I'm trying to say is that the hunter profession and the way the schools are run ask young people to make life-damning decisions when they're way too young to be able to distinguish between the mainstream scene and the profession and what the reality of it is. Why? Because the world needs hunters. Hunters need to be trained for a young age to be effective, and if you want to ask a young child if they want to train for the life to fight, nightmare responsible with low chance of living past 30, then of course say, hell no! That makes sense. I mean, granted, since this is one of the main professions in the world of remnants, there aren't really much options. You're either someone who has probably has a low life expectancy by becoming a hunter, or you're just an innocent villager who'll be struck down by a Grim at a poor time. Yeah, starting to regret my career choice. You're taking it in stride, though. Well, either I do something about it, or I can't, so anyway, you obviously care about this. Have for enough time you're not crushed by despair, so is there a way out? There have been some steps made in the right direction, not recently. For example, 2 years of supervised field experience with 6 months before. That changed only 1 generation ago. But that's not enough. The core problem here is that the hunters aren't given enough experience in killing Grim. The problem is the pragmatism bringing up people for war of attrition only. You're obviously giving this a lot of thought, Professor. What do you think should be done? Specialization, of course. But don't they already do that? Well, yes, but actually, no. Well, yeah, particularly since when you think about it, when it comes to combat class with Miss Goodwitch, they only battle each other in a tournament style. Not really much of a chance to do much fighting against Grim. I mean, if they went out to the Emerald Forest like once a week to take out some of the Grim around, then that would be good training and give them good experience. But no, I don't know how often they actually go Grim exterminating. Don't think they do it enough. An assistant? Yep, I think you'll be very interested in it. But you gotta promise not to tell anyone. Wait, did I miss something? Oh yeah. If you're interested in the subject, yes, I need an assistant for something anyway. Yep, there we go. So, yeah, sorry about that, guys. I got a little confused. I see. Sure. Great. I'll contact you and tell you when and where. Thank you very much, Mr. Dicabeus. Now I should get back to my own shopping. Bye. Sorry about getting mixed up there, guys. I don't know what happened there. Why do I get the feeling I just walked into a minefield? You didn't just walk into a minefield, Kenshi. You walked right into a mine factory. Alright, guys. Go be back when the next part of the event takes place. See you in a bit. Peace. And we're back, guys. So it turns out I didn't have to wait that long for the next event to trigger, because the next event takes place on the same day at nighttime. So we just have to go to class. Professor Beach told me to come here. The dust class. Sorry about the casting. I accidentally hit the my mic. That's your arms here. The secrecy. What exactly are we doing here? And that sound. Good evening, Mr. Dicabeus. Glad you could make it. Now the experiment can really start. Professor, that equipment, where did it even come from? I've never seen it used in class. Oh, for my personal storage. It's not really something you use for school curriculum experiment. Does the faculty know? Wait, how did you even get this in here? I have my ways. Now, let me show you how to operate the containment field. Containment field? Professor! So, I'm not going to show you all the ins and outs, just the important stuff. See this rectangle on the screen here? It goes past this point and turns yellow, tell me. I would usually go for the red, but considering this is your first time, I wouldn't want to risk it. If it does, then push this red button here. Professor, seriously, what kind of experiment are you going to perform here? Nothing too nefarious, but a containment field is still standard safety protocol. Problem is, it needs someone on it at all times, checking the levels of the strain of the field. My cellular satellite doesn't allow me to split into two. That makes things like this so much easier. Is that dangerous? Oh, no worries. The controls are far enough for what I'm trying to do, in case of total containment failure. And what about you? Don't you worry about me, I'll be okay, trust me. But I know what I'm doing. I'm taking a risk, but it's calculated, and I won't ever be in real danger. At most, I'll get some singed hair, I swear. Fine. But could you at least explain to me what you're doing? Of course. So, I'm sure you remember that there's a finite number of base dust crystals. Oh, of course. 4, right? Fire, earth, ice, and wind. Well, there's another one. There's gravity. Bravo! Now, these 4 types can be combined between themselves to form new types. Then, these new types can be mixed with others to form extra ones, and so on. Now, while this happens in nature all the time, the process is random. The type, the size, or the potency of the crystals you find in nature is anyone's guess. There was a need to find a way to reproduce the process in controlled environment, to standardize production of certain types of dust, experiment and try to find new ones. That's how the field of dust science was born. I see, but how does this tie in with what we're talking about last time? Dust science is a specialization for hunters, but it's only available in Atlas Academy. Somehow, similar to how ornithology is only specialization here in Vale. My point is the specializations are not just underfunded and very academy specific, but there's also seen as something hunters should go into only past their prime, or if they get seriously injured. As a fallback instead of a goal, exception made for combat-oriented specialization, an attribute that is just getting passed on generation to generation that seems direct engagement and resistance to the one and only tragedy worth attention when it comes to the grim. Yeah, they really should allow people to focus on like combat and whatever they specialize in. Like obviously I think Weiss should excel in this along with combat instead of just focusing on one. And leaves people who'd like to dedicate themselves to something different in the field strapped for choices and facilities. Indeed, now this specific experiment will be about trying to combine 2 types of dust with a typical level of purity. Eyes on the field counter, please. Okay, let's do this. It's going to be using speed dust and fire dust. Speed dust is pretty much only used in projectile weapons nowadays. They try applying it to fabric, but like all attempts at dust textile enhancement, it gave more problems than benefits. Okay, so what are you? Okay, it seems to be at 22%. It's green anyway. My theory is that by adding speed dust to fire dust, the fire crystal will be able to obtain a faster defragmentation before disparating, aka it's going to cover a larger area with the same boom potency. Interesting. And what about the application? What was that noise? Okay, nothing bad, but still about 40%. That was a sharp movement. Okay, I can think of it as dust mines. The only thing that used right now have inefficient areas of effect, and I say we are a waste of materials for their bang. Mines? Professor, are you sure this is safe? Absolutely. As I said, this is atypical purity. A fire crystal of this quality is only going to be able to produce an explosion at maximum 5% the actual potency. Oh, okay, that sounds good. Yep. I mean, provided that the added velocity doesn't also affect the strength. Wait, what if it's... Oh, yeah. Yeah. Whew. That's an explosion. Oh my god, Professor Peach! Well, that wasn't completely unexpected still. What a difference. Are you alright? Holy crap, that was a big explosion! I'm fine, Ms. Dicabeus. My aura cover held. Feel, please? Oh, sure, it's, 45%. Look, that is a cool image, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, good then. Yeah, should be enough. Enough? Enough for what? Well, the result could have been a bit of a freak accident, maybe some kind of containment in the contamination of crystals, so... Take 2. Stop! Oh, another explosion. I feel like I'm going to enjoy this, too bad there's only like one more route, because I'm not sure if it counts as Janara's or Peach's, but I think it just counts as Peach's. My heart. I don't know if my heart can take any more of this. Now is that why you didn't ask Weiss for help with this? Indeed, Mishy is adorable and very eager to learn, but a bit... too conservative with these kinds of things. She's not the only one. If you ask me to do these kinds of things when no one is... Oh my god, Miss Goodwitch, the curfew, if she had the explosions... Oh, don't worry about Glenda. I got an arrangement with her. An arrangement? What kind of arrangements? Adult stuff. You know, I kept you long enough, Miss Digabeus. Thank you very much for your help. The experiment was a success. Go to sleep satisfied in the knowledge that you helped advance dust science tonight. I'll contact you after when it's time for the next experiment. Okay, probably won't be for a while then. Good night, Professor Peach. Sleep, sure. Yeah, I don't think I can sleep after all those explosions. My ears are gonna be ringing. I'm going to have nightmares with the dust explosions. Sounds like a dream come true for Nora. Professor Peach has brought you the path of science! Well guys, I'm getting this video here. Like comment, subscribe. Jeff and I am out of here. See ya.